During a discussion on her Sunday show, Tomi Lahren claimed that, white supremacist violence is, it's just something that the left is just kind of, amplifying, making up. It's not really that big of a thing, not really that big of a deal. Which got a slight bit of pushback from a co-host. Let's take a look at that segment.
Tommy, I agree with one thing, which is the body count for lone wolf terrorists in this country is higher right now than it's been in a long time. And I am for anything to help with that and to have those discussions. But that is severed from our border security. And we have known terrorists as early as today being apprehended at the border from Afghanistan to try and gloss over what's happening at the border under the guise of we've had tragedies happen under lone wolf terrorists and then label it all white supremacy. That's a scapegoat.
Yeah, well, this is what they have been doing and doing effectively, especially in the midterms that we just saw. Biden, his entire administration, Democrats as a whole, have been able to use this ultra mega white supremacist threats to democracy. They've been able to use this. It is no coincidence they echo this every time they get a chance because they want those independent, those Democrat, and especially those liberal voters to actually believe the biggest threat we face is white supremacy because they can't really solve that. Right? You can solve the border crisis. That's solvable. Donald Trump did it. You can solve national security to an extent. You can't solve this boogeyman called white supremacy, and that's why they continue to echo it, because they don't actually have to do anything. They just get to fire people up and make people feel like oppressors and victims, and it's a talking point that, unfortunately, has been very effective, so they're going to keep using it.
Ooh, boy, there's so much projection there. Okay, so basically, Tomi Lahren, white supremacist violence is not really a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, it's not that bad. It's just a political talking point. That's all it is. And by the way, even though it's not really a thing, you can't really solve it either. But you can solve the border. Donald Trump's already solved the border. Wait a minute. If Donald Trump already solved the border problem, then why are we having a border problem? In their minds, right? I mean, what? Okay, but no, okay. So here's the thing. White supremacist violence is real. I know it's a very real thing. It actually does exist, Tommy. According to the FBI, radicals, driven by a belief in the superiority of the white race, continue to pose a primary threat among domestic violent extremists of committing lethal violence against civilians based on their ideology and attack history. Since 2010, white supremacists have carried out at least 17 lethal attacks, killing no fewer than 77 people, accounting for more than half of all fatalities from domestic terrorism. Now, that was a quote from the FBI's 2022 annual risk assessment. So, white supremacists, they're kind of a big issue here. Now, the same assessment. And because I'm going to be accused of, but what about Antifa lefty violence? Left-wing violence poses a smaller threat and is likely consists of non-lethal criminal activity, according to that same report, which states that far-left extremists, unlike their far-right opponents, are not organized at the countrywide level. Such radicals, the report says, will probably remain focused on people or institutions seen as representing authority, capitalism, and oppression, including perceived racism or fascism. So, there's that. Okay, that's what the FBI says. But what about the border? What about the border? Donald Trump, he solved the border. No, he didn't. Now, apparently, that is that is it goes counter to what Tomi Lahren actually claimed back in 2019. So now here's a tweet from Tomi. Notice the date here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Donald Trump takes a sham border deal from Democrats. He loses in 2020. We all lose for years to come. Wait, I thought Donald Trump fixed the border. Weird. Huh. Now, funny enough, by the way, MAGA chuds dumped on her during that, claiming, oh, you don't understand, he's building the wall as we speak. The wall has been built. No, the wall has not been built. There was no border wall. It was never built. Not true at all. But getting back to the idea of white supremacy, right? And, it not being an issue, and we can't really solve it. Well, Joey Jones is going to respond just very quickly with this.
White supremacy is not a good thing. I am all for attacking it where it exists.
No, white supremacy, not a good thing. Let's attack it where it exists. And it does exist. Great. That's all you need to say. That's all. That's all. Yes, we should go after white supremacy. Wow. Very difficult. But instead of doing that, Tommy's answer was, it doesn't really exist. And it's just being used as a political thing because, at the border, and then they want independence, and, the biggest threat that we face is white supremacy. Actually, it is the biggest domestic threat that we face when it comes to terrorism, Tommy. It's just true. Look, this shouldn't be a controversial take, but are we at all surprised that Tomi Lahren is going to take the side of white supremacists by downplaying the actual threat that they represent? No, not at all.